Here we go.
Marker. Welcome to Mergy Movies, episode 2. I'm Big Mike.
I'm Justin Fergie Ferguson.
And today's topic is... who's sexier? No, I'm kidding. No. Ryan Reynolds or Ryan
Pee-wee
Gosling? Well, Pee-wee, well, fuck. Pee-wee.
we out here, we have a sexy Ryan production factory.
yeah, what's with that? Like, Ryan Reynolds and fucking Ryan Gosling. It's like, what the fuck? But anyway, yeah. No, seriously, our topic today is there such thing as a bad movie? A lot of you are probably like, fuck yeah.
Terrible.
Green Lantern, for example, or... well, name some bad movies here. Let's fire them off.
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
X-Men Origins Wolverine. A lot of people said Cop Out. Although I love Kevin Smith, they say Cop Out was bad. Geely. He's probably the king of bad movies.
One movie I think that gets it but doesn't deserve it is Jersey Girl.
Fuck, I love Jersey Girl. Fuck all of you guys.
That is one of
Kevin's... hate that movie. It's one of his best, man.
That's one of Kevin Smith's, like, his nicer movies. And as George, like, as a big role for George Carlin.
Man, that movie is like... George Carlin is the fucking heart and soul of that movie, man. Like, seeing that fucking movie, like, every time makes me tear up because, fuck, he was just awesome in that show. Like, his appearance, like, near the end, like, when he's saying to... his kid, it's like, don't worry, Dad, I'm not going anywhere. Or no, he says, you're not moving away or whatever. By the way, again, spoiler, we'll always spoil shit. And he says, because Ben Affleck's his son, and goes, you're moving away? He goes, no, Dad, because he says, don't worry, we're not going to leave you alone or whatever, you know. And he says, it's not the being alone. He says, it's not that I want to die alone, right? And it's that, first of all, that line is fucking heart-wrenching to hear. And he says, don't worry, Dad, we're not going anywhere. I think that's... like, from what I've all seen of George Carlin roles, and I might have to go back and, you know, just do like a retrospect and watch some of his movies, I think so far, I'm just going to go on a limb to say that was I think that is his best performance, but it is my definitely favorite performance from that guy.
He's been in a few Kevin Smith movies.
Yes, a lot, yeah. Dogma and
all that. Bill and Ted.
Yes, oh, I can't forget Bill and Ted. A lot of people don't like Bill and Ted either, but fuck, I love that show. By the way, read the official comic book sequel. Mm-hmm. Love it. It's awesome. You should check it out. But yeah, so there's a lot of bad movies, or so people say. But see, my thought is, and I've thought about this, and you let us know what you think. Fire off in the comments of wherever you're watching this video. If one person likes a movie, does that make it bad?
It depends on what your measurement of bad is, though.
So I guess that would be sort of my point. Would be if everybody's measurement of bad is different. Like, there are people out there who fucking love Geely. I don't know who.
Where you are.
Come on. Okay, seriously, this is a serious question. If there's anybody watching this video out there that actually loved Geely, or even if you just
what about Glitter?
Oh, fuck, I totally forgot about Glitter. Okay, Geely or Glitter, because they're equally as bad. Let us know in the comments why you like this movie so much. Just tell us why. Why, for the love of God, do you like these movies?
Because it's like, we go to, like, one example, I don't want to throw myself under the bus here, but my girlfriend really likes Tyler Perry movies.
Yeah, okay.
She really likes Tyler Perry movies.
Hey.
I can't get into them. I really can't. I mean, I try.
Yeah.
I try. Like, she puts them on, and, like, if we're in bed and she puts a movie on, if it's a Tyler Perry movie, like, 10 minutes in, I'm snoring.
What is it?
I can't get into them, but then again, that's the measurement we're trying to figure out. Are Tyler Perry movies bad?
That's the whole episode. Are Tyler Perry movies bad? No, it's, like, again, another person who has, like, you know, they actually... I don't know what's going on with these two stars. First of all, you have Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Who's done, like, his first breakout role was Beverly Hills Cop, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, like, Beverly Hills Cop, he's got all these movies. Sure, he did Golden Child. Some people really love Golden Child. Some people didn't. But then you got, like, all these other big heavy hitters that he did. And then all of a sudden it's like, after Nutty Professor 2, which, again, Nutty Professor 2 is pretty bad, but I
The first
do
Nutty
enjoy
Professor
it.
is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But the second one, I did enjoy it, but I knew it's bad. Okay, I know it's bad. But then he does like Norbit and the Adventures of Pluto Nash, which I think is actually, if either the most, if not at least second or third to like the worst performing movie of all time.
Yeah.
Like it did bad, and they spent tons of money on this movie. Like I don't know what these people were thinking, but again, I guess that's what we're talking about. Why is there such thing as a bad movie? Like a ton of people give Kevin Smith the Shaft all the time. Like I mean, a new movie that just came out of his, Yoga Hosers, got the Shaft at the box office, and I mean, I'm going to tell you something right now. I saw Tusk, and although a lot of people hated it, I quite enjoyed it. It's fucked up. It's not by any stretch of imagination like your traditional movie, but I mean, he made it because fuck, why not? He has the money.
He has the money,
and he has the stars too. Michael Parks, man.
Michael Parks and
Say what
Justin
you will-
Long.
Yeah, like say what you will about the movie, but Michael Parks, fuck, he's just phenomenal in that movie. Like he's everything. Like Red State, he was great in Red State. Like, have you seen Red State?
I've seen Red State.
Oh, I love Red State. Like, yeah.
I think Kevin Smith, he talks about how Chasing Amy is sort of a yin and yang thing for him. It's really good for him, and it's really bad because everyone's like, Chasing Amy was really good.
Yeah.
But then people say, oh, you haven't done anything great since Chasing Amy.
Yeah.
But
some people will say you haven't done anything great since Clerks, but I mean, first of all, I love almost every single one of Kevin Smith's movies. The only one I actually do not like that much is Cop Out.
And that's because he didn't write it.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying like his work is bad in it, but when you have an asshole of a fucking person on set like that, it's really hard to do a good job.
Yeah. I don't. Who's the other actor in it?
Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan.
Tracy's fantastic.
Tracy Morgan, from what I hear, he's not a very good actor. I'm not really a big Tracy Morgan fan.
Yeah.
But he's a wonderful guy to work with.
He's a fucking cool dude. Like, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of him by any stretch of the imagination, but like, whenever he's on Jimmy, fuck, he's funny. He's just. I mean, it's like half the time that dry humor where he just like doesn't even. It's like almost like he doesn't want to be there, but he does. Yeah. So he's like, yeah, whatever, Jimmy. Like whatever. He's just an asshole, but in a funny way, right? Like I can see why. Like again, I've only maybe seen like 1 or 2 episodes of 30 Rock, but tons of people love 30 Rock.
Yeah.
But anyway,
but
yeah.
Back to the point. I think several measurements we could set up for is a movie bad that are sort of kind of a little more universal than personal opinion.
Right. Okay.
Is what we could try to come up with here. Expectation.
Right.
Expectation could be a measurement.
Like setting us up for like, oh fuck, this movie looks awesome, and then you go see it, and it's like, what the fuck was that? Blair Witch.
Blair Witch is a good example, where the marketing leads you to believe it's something that it's not.
Ang Lee's Hulk too.
Ang Lee's Hulk is another one. We were talking about this earlier. An invert of that, though, is the new Star Trek movie.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Where the trailer and the advertising and the lead-up is terrible. Nobody was really... The advertising didn't get anybody excited.
Yeah, we're usually it's the other way around, right?
Yeah, but then you go see it, and it's like, oh wait, that's actually a really good movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
but we're not talking about good movies.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, like there's like tons of movies that you see the trailer for, and it's like, I'm going to see it. Like another one, I'm not saying it was bad by any stretch of the imagination, but Suicide Squad was a tiny bit misleading.
Yeah,
a tiny bit. Like, have you seen it yet?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, it's a tiny bit misleading. Like, although I did enjoy it. But yeah.
It leads you in a direction, like one big direction it leads you in is that Jared Leto's Joker is going to play a bigger role in it.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
But
that doesn't happen. He's not in it much at all.
That's another thing is when you... Expectation also, when it's not just, say, when we're talking about expectations, maybe it's a director, like a Kevin Smith, or another director.
Yeah, Kevin Smith is known to have quote-unquote bad movies, so it's like, I'm going to hate this movie before it's even out. Yeah. Or like Steven Spielberg, for example, he's known to have great movies. I'm going to love this movie no matter what. And then apparently the BFG movie is like one of his worst performed movies. I haven't seen it. I can't say it's bad. But yeah, like an example of that.
Another movie, a good example of like a guy who sets himself up for huge expectations, is a guy like Christopher Nolan.
Yes.
He had, before The Dark Knight Rises, he was batting 1,000.
Oh fuck yeah! Like the trailer was great, and then you went and saw the movie, and it was like, everything. Like, I still, like, gush about that movie when it's on TV. Like, that whole fucking... I'm sorry, I'm going to nerd out for a second. But, fuck, that whole interrogation scene.
That was one of the best scenes ever.
Ever in movie history, period. He's just like, oh, fuck, how come I can't quote it right now? I've seen it so many times.
All three aspects of that. The directing, the way he directed the scene.
Yeah.
The acting,
Oh,
and
just,
the story. All three together in that scene are wonderful. Christopher Nolan, with The Dark Knight and all of his previous movies, Batman Begins, Memento, Insomnia, all of these other movies, he was doing great. So just putting his name, and then he did, also after The Dark Knight, he did Inception, which was one of the best sleeper original ideas ever to come out.
You know, I've only seen it once. I really got to sit down and watch it again. But anyway.
It was like one of those movie moments in history. And he sets himself up. Okay, this guy, he's one of the best directors working. Everything he pumps out is good. I'm not saying The Dark Knight Rises was bad, but it had so much pressure on it.
And do you think part of that is because of Heath Ledger's death? Do you think
I think part of that, because
they had a totally different script.
They had to use a totally different script because Heath Ledger was supposed to be in this.
Yeah, that's terrible. Like, you could have recast him, but I think this just would have been extremely
I think
sacrilege.
I just don't think they would have been able to.
Although we were talking about after it happened that Daniel Day-Lewis would have been an interesting choice. And again, technically, it wouldn't have been a good choice, but if you think about it this way, again, sorry for the non-comic book nerds out there watching this, but the Joker is so broad in spectrum. Like in the animated movies, like he's this kind of Joker, then he's this kind of Joker. Yeah. There's a theory going around that in the comics that the Joker is actually played by several people, right? Yeah. So you could have gotten almost away with it in the new one, but I mean, I understand why they didn't want it.
Yeah, and it's a respect thing for a colleague.
Exactly, of course. And like you said, anyway, go back to Great Expectations for directors and stuff.
Yeah, directors and actors, and like you build up a reputation, and people come to expect a certain level of quality, and when it's not there, when you're not quite at that level, another guy who is seeing the downturn of that is a guy like Johnny Depp.
Yes, like a lot of cranking out these good ones, and all of a sudden it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he was really doing really well, and then he did the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and everyone was like, "This is amazing."
That movie is still fantastic.
That movie, he did, like, for starters, he wasn't even supposed to be like that.
Yeah,
like they were literally going to fire him because the producers were like, "What the hell? He's ruining our movie."
No, he wasn't, man. No, he wasn't. He created an iconic character.
He was supposed to be a side character. It was supposed to be about Will and Elizabeth. That's what the movie was supposed to be. And he just overshadowed them.
He just stole that fucking movie, man.
But then the subsequent sequels, and then Willy Wonka, and all of these other movies.
That's all the rum guy. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
But he just... It just sort of nosedived, and now it's like Mordecai and The Tourist and all these really terrible choices he's making.
My mom's a huge Johnny Depp fan. And she watched The Tourist, and she hated it.
Another, that is one thing. Another aspect, going back to Suicide Squad, with expectations.
Holy fuck, we got far from that. Anyway, go on.
Back to Suicide Squad with the idea of expectations.
Yes.
Is if it's based on something that's beloved to begin with.
Watchmen, good example.
Watchmen's another good example.
Oh, fuck, I don't know why people hate that movie.
The Watchmen is the best thing Zack Snyder ever made.
Fuck yeah. He is visually fantastic. You were talking about this.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day. As a cinematographer, as a guy holding the camera, filming it, lighting it, and setting up the shot.
Yeah.
He is top 5 in Hollywood right now.
Oh, definitely.
Telling a story, he is bottom 5 in Hollywood right now.
Yeah, he is. No.
If he had if he was a cinematographer for a better director, that would be an excellent movie.
He should do that. Just prove us wrong, man. Prove us right, as a matter of fact. Because, The Watchmen was just visually stunning. And
he did... I love Alan Moore, but he throws in intentionally, a lot of unfilmable shit into his books.
I think, intentionally. I don't want this to become a film. Sorry, my English voice is terrible. So I'm going to write weird shit to this, this monster that explodes and kills everybody. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Because it's as soon as I make this work, they're going to turn it into a movie. I know it. That's my Alan Moore. That's my Alan Moore impression. I know it. Yeah. So fuck it, I'm gonna make a monster, and you're gonna like it, god damn it. And anyway, and a lot of people are like, I actually prefer the new ending of The Watchmen, but anyway, whatever.
It works.
Yeah.
But then you also look, there's other ones of his where they have butchered his work, like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, fuck. Like, hey. Okay. I never really read the book when I first saw the movie.
Yeah.
I was like, this movie's an interesting idea. I like the premise. The premise is awesome, and the movie's okay. Till I read the fucking book. The book is, I want to see a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen like that. I mean, okay, spoiler alert for no one who's read the book. The fucking Invisible Man is caught raping women in a college dormitory. Big, huge spoiler alert. Hyde eats him later. And then he doesn't become visible till he starts to bleed out all over the table. And it's like, all of a sudden, it's like he's covered in blood. I want to see that on film. That sounds fantastic. Will it ever happen?
Probably
not.
But, you have these expectations.
Yes.
The other thing, well, I think that's probably the biggest murder for other. And then there's just film quality. And there's just,
I'm going to say one more person for expectations. M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, he's the king of it.
Yeah, because it's like, was The Sixth Sense his first big movie?
It was his breakout movie.
His breakout movie, so he did The Sixth Sense, right? It's like, oh, fantastic film, just great. I actually watched it recently. It still holds up. It's really fucking good. Didn't he follow with Unbreakable?
Yeah.
Because fuck, that movie's awesome. If none of you have seen that show, yeah, and then it's like, okay, a lot of people don't like Signs, and I understand why. I love Signs.
There's one big plot hole in Signs.
Yeah.
There's one big plot hole is the aliens' intelligence.
Yeah, I really
their one big weakness is water.
I'm gonna land. What's that wet stuff? Oh, it can't be water. It can't be water. Our number one weakness? No, fuck it. Land. That's. I understand. That's huge. But I enjoyed up until that part. I guess you could say. It was suspenseful, kept you on your toes.
And he was reeling in really good actors at that point.
Oh yeah, like Joaquin Phoenix, which to me was relatively unknown to me at the time because I didn't really necessarily watch much of movies he was in. But fuck, like he was like, wow, I like this guy. And then Mel, I mean, okay, say what you say about Mel, he's a racist prick, but fuck, he's a good actor.
You look at his acting. I will honestly you watch the Lethal Weapon movies, for example, especially the first one. Here's a guy who's taking an 80s action movie. It's not a very deep concept. Mm-hmm. I watch, he's suicidal in the movie.
Yeah.
He's suicidal
Fuck
in
it.
That is the most depressing, real suicidal cop I have ever seen in an action movie. I gotta
watch that movie again. Fuck, this show is gonna be, mark my words, this show is gonna be what totally collapses my marriage because I wanna watch this. Before you know it, I'm just literally glued to the fucking TV the whole night. But yeah, I know what you mean. He's just he's an iconic guy. Whether he's a dick, but
that's a lot of celebrities are like that. There's a lot of talent attached to not very nice people.
Yeah. So So you were saying what was the next thing? Expectation quality.
Quality. Whether it's in scripting,
yes,
or in actual production.
Take the whole Kevin Smith. Death of what's it called? What were they going to call it? Superman Lives.
That wasn't Kevin Smith. That was.
I know. Well, it was directed by Tim Burton. But Kevin Smith was involved in the writing.
Yeah.
And the whole story behind the producers of that show, the guys first of all, Superman can't fly, and he can't have a cape, and he has to fight a giant spider in the third act.
And then he went on to write Wild Wild West, and he got his giant spider.
If you ever get the time, which, I mean, if you're watching us, you have time, so go on YouTube and look up the whole Kevin Smith, if you haven't already, the whole Kevin Smith story about Superman Lives. It's phenomenally fucking weird. But anyway, quality, for producers and whatever,
producers meddle too much.
Way too much.
Some producers are really good. Some producers know when to put the line down, like Kathleen Kennedy, the current head of Lucasfilm.
Right.
She's a real good producer because she'll sort of put an agenda down, but she doesn't really step in the director's way. DC has some terrible producers because I have an honest feeling that they over-meddled in the production. The guy who made the Suicide Squad, I can't remember his name right now.
David Ayer?
David Ayer
Yeah.
is actually a really good director.
Yeah, what else has he done? Name's it's gonna bug me.
End of Watch.
End of Watch. Yeah.
End of Watch, and the Brad Pitt tank movie, Fury.
Shit, Fury. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He is actually a pretty good director. He just, I feel like you watch it and it just feels like what dragged it down is the producers were hovering over him, and they meddled in his cutting, and they really just sort of lowered the quality of the movie by meddling, and the production went down. The quality of the script went down.
Yeah. It's just those directors, and there's good directors and stuff, and they just kind of, it's just the quality of that and the expectation of stuff. What else could you just quickly summing up? What else could you say could be an effective of it?
Misdirection.
Misdirection, right?
One film that we will probably get talking on our next episode about is the Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Here's a movie that's supposed to be about the Mario Brothers, but you honestly felt like it was a B-rated. They took a script for a B-rated science fiction movie.
Yeah.
And they basically threw the Mario Brothers into it and said, "Here, make this."
It's almost like a really bad Doctor Who episode without Doctor Who in it. You know what I mean? Like one of the old Doctor Who ones.
Yeah.
But you have, there's, I guess what we are trying to say, because it's really, I guess, should we say there are such things as bad movies?
Yeah, I think there is such a thing as a bad movie when you have a quantifiable measurement, like expectations and things like that.
But the thing is,
opinion can definitely sway it.
Yeah, of course. And that's what, if you love a movie that not many people have seen, what your job is as a person is to share this movie with others.
You know what a bad movie is that has a great following? It's called a cult movie.
Exactly. That, Mallrats, when it came out, again, I'm going to use Kevin Smith a lot in other things because I'm a huge fan, but here's a good example. You can give another one. Everybody hated Mallrats. But Jim Jacks, the producer that Kevin Smith, who passed away now, he's doing Mallrats too, by the way, because of this, and it's going to be a TV series. Anyway, I won't go into the depths on that. Jim Jacks was like, this movie's way ahead of its time. If you were to play Mallrats now,
I think it would work.
I think it would be extremely successful, and that's why it has a cult following now. So
another is all-time classic cult movies would be Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh yeah, of course.
You look at the production of it is not very good. The script makes very little sense. The music is catchy as hell.
Yes, it is. It sure is. Yeah.
But it's just so absurd a premise, and it's just such a fun movie.
Yeah.
That even though it's really bad, a lot of people like it.
Yeah.
And it's built this following up.
Yeah, so I guess what you could say is, there is such thing as a bad movie, but to you, it could be one of your favorites, and that's when it's your responsibility as a film fan to share it with others. And so it gets a cult following, and then, it'll rise up above that status. So,
to the final point I'm going to make,
yes,
there is such a thing as a bad movie. It's a movie that everyone considers bad that can't get a cult following.
That's right. Actually, that's our what's the thing in an essay when you reached your point? What's that called again? God, I've been
I don't know.
For so long. That end sentence thingy. You're
that.
Because the thesis is the whole thing.
Yeah.
What's the end thing called? Wow. I feel stupid. But anyway.
We're going to call it that.
Yeah, we're going to call it that. That's the end. That's the end result. That's the answer. That's the answer. That's the answer. Alright, so that's what we'll say it is for now. So until next time, I'm Big Mike.
I'm Justin Ferguson.
So we're at the movies. Grab your popcorn for the end sentence thingy.